Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Principles Podcast, hosted by Ali and Kane. And today we are shooting our first podcast officially of our show. Ali, why don't you give the viewers, a summary of what it is we're here to do?
Absolutely. So, man, I'm so excited to do this with you, first and foremost.
100%, bro. It's been years in the making.
Exactly. There's so many different aspects that we can talk about. I think the purpose is sharing the vision of what Principles Academy and the Circle Syndicate should be. Principles Academy is the embodiment of leading by example. So everything that we learn in our lifestyle, whether it doesn't matter what industry, doesn't matter what kind of area of life, we implement it first, and then we put it into a curriculum that we can go and teach other people, So we start with the principles of personal development. I think me and you are both super fans of personal development,
100%.
Not just reading, attending conferences, embodying certain traits, learning from mentors, teaching mentees, and then it goes to health and spirituality because those are kind of one unit. Without health, the wealth is kind of irrelevant because you won't be able to enjoy it. So we understand, manifestation, visualization, working out, the mindset going into taking care of your mind, body, and soul, And then the third piece of the puzzle is wealth creation. A lot of times people are like, Ali, how can I make more money? And then you go look at their habits and the way their paradigms, the thinking patterns. It's like, you're not ready to make money yet. Yeah. You probably could make the money, but it won't be as a grand of a experience until you get the first two out of the way. So then we put that together into the wealth creation portion, and then we put it on to the world. So Principles Podcast is not just about the pillars of wealth, even though that's our foundation. We're also going to talk about the truth. We're seekers of truth. We're going to be talking to experts, industry experts, people in different areas of life, whether spirituality, whether fitness, whether business, people that have, a range of people that have made, hundreds of millions of dollars, and people that have really created impact in life, and they've transcended what it means to be human, And we're going to be talking to them, learning from them, and then packaging in a way where our listeners and our followers and our students can really take it and implement to our life. So the problem with today's education system is the truth is always suppressed. And, we don't get to really discuss it. You get censored and there's all this bullshit going on. And so I love learning. And so the biggest way to learn from me is not just courses and events and stuff like that. It's learning from people, learning from real life experiences of people that we can relate to. Because a lot of times, it's just a matter of shifting our paradigm, and the way we can do that is just learning from each other.
Yeah, just to touch on what you said, talking about our purpose here. And our purpose is to teach our followers and teach our viewers the principles of other mega successful people. Because me growing up, I didn't grow into a rich family. So I had to read books. I had to go on social media and try and learn from people. And oftentimes you run into scammers, you run into people that aren't actually who they say they are. So we're trying to cut out the fluff. I think both of our companies kind of embody that, and solve that problem for people, where we're doing the due diligence on people that we bring on the podcast. We're doing the due diligence behind our curriculum. We're doing the due diligence behind our networking group to ensure that people have less fluff to go through and actually can consume the information. Because truly, the biggest downfall in our society is the information that we receive. It's truly an information war. The wars, there's real wars, and then there's the information war. And what justifies a real war is the information behind it. Who's right, who's wrong, what are you learning, is it right, is it wrong? So our main purpose and goal here is to to obtain the right information and distribute that amongst our peers, our circles, and our networks to be able to fully empower those that are trying to get to the next level in life. And if they're already at that next level, how to truly grow. Because one thing I found with us, while we're networking, meeting a lot of rich people, we have everything already. We have spirituality, personal development, and we have health. And we have money, but we're not where we're at. We want to be financially. But then we meet people that are 10x what we want to be financially, making millions, 10 million, $20 million a month. But we notice one thing about them. They don't have the other two things that we have. And it made me realize that we have family, we have friends, we have health. The last thing that we need is money. And it also made me realize that money isn't everything. It's only everything if you have the other things in life that are true to success that make you happy. So what we're trying to do here with our academy, and even, you know, our mastermind calls and meetups, is we're trying to stress the importance of the other two pillars, because people often overlook it. And it's not just money. Money is just one part of the branch. There's the other two sectors that are necessary in the development of becoming that person that's deserving of $1 million, whatever you may want a month. And it comes to spirituality, health, and personal development.
See, the issue is people that make a lot of money and they don't have the other two in line, the money oftentimes runs away from them. There's no longevity. So in order to create a foundation where the money stays, even to a point where you don't have to work as hard. You know, Deepak Chopra in his 7 Spiritual Laws of Success talks about the law of least effort. And I see a lot of rich people, super mega wealthy, right, that facilitate these big deals without really working very hard, because they're doing the right things. They're delegating, they're elevating, they're putting deals together, they're masterminding behind the deals. And so they have the other things in line. They have the network, they have the self-love, they have the love for their family, this and that, and then it falls in place. So oftentimes, like you said, people don't have the first two foundations set, so the money comes and leaves. You see a lot of these, you know, online gurus and crypto millionaires and stuff like that, where they're back to being broke because they didn't have a solid foundation set. So we're reverse engineering the model, setting the solid foundation, so when you are prepared, the money will come and the money will stay. And then it goes to the next piece of the puzzle, where you're doing stuff like asset protection and, you know, taking care of your entities and diversifying and, you know, the next level strategies that we're learning. So let me ask you this, bro. Why do you think the proper education, the right information is suppressed or not taught properly? Because
when you go back to the history of why the education system was formed, correct me if I'm wrong, it was by John D. Rockefeller, right? Is that true? Yeah, from what I recall.
A nation of workers.
Yeah, so, you know, they didn't want to create a nation of thinkers and a nation of workers. And I, as a businessman, I understand that. I don't want, you know, every single person in my company to be me. It's impossible. You need the employees. You need the other stuff. But given how long has it been since then, you know, let's say centuries, right? Yeah. Centuries since the education system has been made, it has never been innovated. So now it's actually a disservice to the society, this current system that we have. And the reason why the real education is suppressed is because you cannot, you know, like the rich believe, some of the rich believe that not everybody could be rich, and I agree. But you could still give the necessary knowledge and information to people, because we understand that it takes a certain type of fire in you to become someone like us and be where we're at. But I think it is our duty to give the younger generation and our kids access to the right information, and whatever they decide to do with it, they could do with it. 100%. Because not everybody we still need the dishwashers, we still need the people at the McDonald's, we still need everybody in the ecosystem, and some people are happy with that, and if you're happy with that, then I'm happy for you. But there's a lot of people out there that want to be in a position like us and don't have the right access to information. So at this point, for us, it is our morality. It comes to morality, and it is our duty to do that. And I truly believe that, you know, we shouldn't withhold information from future generations, because it is actually going to hurt the earth and hurt our lives and the future more.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. The thing is, you do need the other pieces, and it may not be your fault that you're in that situation. It might not be your fault. Actually, it isn't your fault you grew up in a certain type place in the world. It's not your fault you grew up in a certain economic status, but it is your responsibility to get out. So, and what Principles Academy does is gives that, you know, that blueprint where anyone can take it and run with it, right? We have, you know, several tiers. We have the tiers that someone's entry level. You know, it might be in, you know, 15, 16, 17, 25, 30, doesn't matter. Your entry level entrepreneur, where you understand that there is an online lifestyle that you can use the internet to make money. You can get these high ticket skill sets where you can supplement your income and eventually let go of your main job, right? We have the second tier, which is like our peers, where people have had a little bit of success and they've accomplished a few things, and now they want to take it to the next level. They want to learn the more complex stuff, the infinite banking, the asset protection, the delegation, the VA how to scale, marketing, operations, all that kind of stuff, right? Sales 101, all that. And then you have the third tier, which the people that have already made a lot of money and they want to connect with other people that have made a lot of money and make even more money and impact together. So again, I'm going to say this, it's not your fault that you're in the situation you are, but it is your responsibility to get out, okay? it is your responsibility to get
100%.
out. That's, you know, the same thing that you said in the beginning. It's, you know, you may not have come from a rich family, but a rich family has to come from you. You know, that's the goal.
100%.
It's your responsibility. You have to break the generational curses, and think about it. You know, everybody, we have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great grandparents, and it goes down the list. You have thousands of people in your ancestry bloodline that had to connect and live and experience and go through life for us to be right here, right now, which is mind blowing to see. And then half the time people go and waste it on chasing dopamine, drugs, girls, you know, chasing even money without actual true value and true integrity. So that's why they're doing anything for $1. And next thing you know, they're in situations that they don't want to be in. So you had thousands of people in your bloodline, and then led us to here. So what the fuck are you going to do with that information? What are you going to do with that?
100%. No, you know, I saw something online and said, you know, 1,000 years ago, someone in your family and bloodline was on a battlefield killing people.
Yeah.
Killing people just so you could be
Surviving.
here. And people that he fought beside didn't make it, and their bloodline didn't last till now. So it's all about perspective, and that's something that we also you know, train our mentees and our team on, you know, how to have the right perspective. And when you look at it like that, and you look that deep into it, that, you know, other bloodlines didn't last till now because of all the wars, and we're still here, there must be a reason. And that's also why we bring spirituality to it, because you must have a higher purpose and you must have a higher belief system, because everybody wants what we have and we want what other people, you know, and you have to understand that it's a player versus player game in that sense. And if you look at the statistics of the probability of making, let's say, $1 million a year, right? What is the probability of that? It's very low chances numbers wise. So you need some sort of higher type of compass, higher guidance, higher consciousness to be able to guide you through those times, because this is not easy by any means. It is hard. There's a million letdowns. We thought we would have been billionaires by now, but it's about the consistency and persistency. And I think for a lot of the viewers, the hardest thing, and I'm sure I could speak for us as well, the hardest part of it was from getting from 0 to the first 10K. It's about, you know, the rocket, for a rocket to go to space, the most power that it uses is to get off of the ground. But once you have momentum, then it's easy cruise sailing. So what we're trying to do is give people the right resources to gather that momentum to get from the 0 or the dead broke to $10,000 a month. I think that was the hardest for me. And then it's one thing to have your $10,000 a month, and it's another thing to do it consistently.
Continue it, yeah.
Right? So we're here trying to provide the resources, provide the income streams, and really give people the information that was hidden from us and give it openly in our academy. And I think that we're going to be solving a huge problem right now. And the cool thing about both of our businesses, bro, and this is why I truly believe that we have a higher purpose together, and when we work together, we have a higher purpose, is that we build businesses to solve problems to serve others. All of our ecosystems have the philanthropy part to it. We give back. So for example, in Principles Academy, we're giving back a portion of our MRR profits back to Principles Foundation, where we'll be donating to children around the world and building infrastructure for children, right? With Circle Syndicate, we're syndicating private equity deal flow, connecting multimillionaires globally, right? And one of our mandates to join is that you must show some sort of aspect of giving back, whether it's through your business and life. And then also with the deals that we close, we'll be donating a portion of that to give back, then again to the younger generation, to the children. So I think once you build a business that is to give back to the world and give back to others, you will be rewarded by either, in some people's eyes, the universe, or by God.
100%. You know, one thing that you said was very important is the fact that most of the time that people start these businesses, they don't have the right intention. Their intention is the money. So that's why they don't have that deeper purpose. So our goal is to aggregate that information, because we had to go searching for it. We had to go and read all these books and then spend I spent $250,000 on conferences and events and this and that in the last 5 years. But now, and then there's a lot of fluff now. So you see a lot of people who haven't built proper businesses, selling courses and programs and this and that. And then you meet them in person, you're like, you don't even embody what you teach or preach, you know? So it's kind of weird. So we're aggregating this information to one spot where now, after we've given you this foundation, this tool, it's up to you to take it and run with it. It's just like anything else. You know, you'll have a few students that go all the way, and everything that you teach them, they'll practice, they'll preach, they'll implement, and they'll teach other people. And then there's some people that no matter how much information or value or even you give them on a silver platter, they won't take it and run with it. So our goal is to find the people, to find the students that are dedicated to this shit, because it's not easy, as you said. Not everyone's built to be an entrepreneur. Everyone can be an entrepreneur, but not everyone will be an entrepreneur. Nowhere close. Because, you know, people see the glamorous side of entrepreneurship, the posting, the cars, the clothes, the traveling, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. They don't know the late nights. They don't know the depression. They don't know the anger. They don't know the
anxiety.
Anxiety. You're feeding your own team, and, you know, you're the last one to eat, or you're like, hey, am I going to meet my expenses this month, my personal expenses? You know, I'll take care of my team, but am I going to eat this month? So people don't know the late nights and the work ethic and the sacrifice. The biggest things with entrepreneurship is not only hard work and smart work, but sacrifice. You have to give up the short term for the long term. You have to give up to stack funds. I put in one of my videos, to stack funds, you have to sacrifice fun. That's part of life. And of course, our goal is to create a life that we don't need a vacation from, but we've earned those stripes.
Yes.
3-4 years, I didn't go anywhere I didn't get up from the computer, you know what I'm saying? 16, 17 hours a day to get to where I want to be. And now it's like, hey, we can come to Dubai, shoot a podcast, ride horses and ride jet skis and, connect with people and go to dinners. That's still work. For us, that's still work. We're going to a dinner. People are like, oh, y'all going? No. This is still work. We're ideating, we're connecting, we're learning, we're even, possibly taking notes even, you know what I'm saying? So our job is to aggregate the resources, and it's your job, the student's job, to take these resources and implement them.
Yeah. So, our vision with Principles Academy, it's a long-term vision. I truly think that this is our legacy project. And our vision is to be an institutionalized curriculum recognized by other governmental and country bodies as a real education. So we're going to be creating a new curriculum that, all of our competitors, when you look at everyone else who's in the game, they're just teaching you how to make money. And that's cool. I respect that. You want to learn to make money, and that's the money grab.
We've
like everybody, and everybody wants to make money. So yeah, they're going to join. But like you said, without the other two, you will not sustain that money and live a happy life. And we want to teach people, how to truly get started, have an understanding of your why, understand where you want to go, understand your goals, how to create a roadmap, how to create a business plan. Every single step of the way, we are going to map out for you guys to get you from zero to $1 million a month. That's really what it is. And we're going to be teaching the beginners, we're going to be teaching the intermediary, and we're going to be teaching the experts. We are going to be catering to everyone. And that's what we created our two ecosystems for, Circle Syndicate and Principles Academy. Because for us, if we could serve more people and change more lives, I think our job is done. We don't even need the money. If we could inspire more people and, empower them, that is our job. I believe that that's our job on this earth, to be able to give back to children and to be able to help the future generations to come and then help our peers, right?
Absolutely, dude. The thing is, the crazy thing is, I see a lot of people that make a lot of money and they don't have the self-love. They don't have that divine family. They don't have the discipline. And I don't want to be like that. So there's so many times where I've been out, when you go to conferences and stuff and everyone's doing like the after parties, everyone's doing the networking events, or they're going out. Cool. Love doing that. And then you see when alcohol gets in people's system, I'm like, do I really want, this guy got bread, but do I really want to be like him? And then, a quick evaluation, self-audit. Absolutely fucking not. No, I do not want to be anything like this person. I don't care how much money they have. So the point of Principles Academy is the point of Principles Academy is to teach people to become well-rounded men and women. Okay, not just with money, but with a family dynamic, with self-discipline, with principles and values, and things that they don't bend for anybody. Because a lot of times I see people chasing girls. I see people doing whatever for money. cool, you got bread, you know, you got a nice car, you got nice watches, and you look like you have fun every weekend. But guess what? What's the issue deep down? There's no fulfillment. You know, you're not playing chess, you're playing checkers, so you're living for the weekend, and then every time you're chasing a new dopamine hit, and then guess what? When you're 30, 35, 40, you know, you still see these guys in clubs saying, where the after party at? You know, it's like, I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to be divine family, multiple, you know, strong, well-rounded, high value men working with each other, keeping each other accountable, calling each other out, fixing each other's, you know, helping each other fix their mistakes. And then the divine family with the beautiful, you know, man, woman, child, children, where my kids can go and hang out with your kids. And we have all went through the academy. We all embody, you know, practicing what we preach. Our kids have, you know, gone through the program, and they understand, hey, this is this role, this is this role, this is the goal, you know, this is how we should operate. This is how we stay away from the norm. This is what every other child and kid is doing, you know what I'm saying? This is what every man and woman is doing, but this is what we do. We have our own little sector. But the biggest thing, Kane, is we're going to have trouble because what we're trying to do, it's going to bother some people.
Oh, 100%.
It's going to bother, and especially, you know, getting into these government institutions and stuff. Yes, you know, it'll be easier to get internationally because they're going to want us to take what we've learned and bring it over here. But the people that are at the top over here, they might not like it because they're like, hey, they're actually helping people escape and break through the societal norms that we've set for 200-300 years. It's going to be a problem for us. How do you plan on combating that?
Walk with God, to be honest. You know, I think walking with God and staying true to our intentions, whatever happens. But if we do it with the right intention, I believe that the truth will prevail. And I believe if we can impact even as small as 1,000 people, I'm happy with our job here, you know, and, you know, just to keep going and globalize, because, you know, our target demographic is anyone who wants to do better for themselves, anyone who wants to provide for their family, anyone who wants to build a better network, right? We're not just catering to a country like North America and, you know,
we want to do multiple languages.
Exactly. We're going to be doing multiple languages. We want to cater to everybody. So I think that when you try to create that global change, there will be a lot of people that will come with us, you know, and I truly fear nothing, you know, and this is one thing I want the viewers to understand, guys. You know, if you have family, if you guys have health, if you guys have some money in the bank, but you guys aren't completely poor, you guys are already rich. If you're happy and you wake up every day happy and you practice gratitude and you have a good mindset, you're already rich. The money is just an icing on top. And like I said, I always thought that I was broke before, but I had all the stuff that truly made me rich. And then when my perspective changed, I really realized I am rich. Like for example, if $25 million hit our account today, I'd maybe celebrate for 10 seconds, but my life wouldn't change because I already feel like I have $25 million sitting in the bank today. I already feel like we made $100 million this year. And the wire was sent. It's already coming, right? And this is something you guys need to understand. When it comes to success, there is the expectancy of success that makes it different. It's not if I do this, it's when I do this. And that's something that people need to understand. And how would you act if you knew that your financial goal was on the way, that the wire was sent? How would you literally act? If I sent you a wire right now for $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, whatever your goal may be, how would you act today? How would you walk? How would you talk? And that is the biggest thing that people need to understand. Before I made money, I walked like I was rich. When I was working in the nightclubs, I wore a suit. I even had a W in my head for wins. And I had, you know, I dressed in a suit and I had a bedazzled out cane and I was wearing dress pants and I tucked my shirt in my pants to feel how I feel now. But I really had nothing in my actual life to truly believe that I was that person. So you have to manifest, you have to use your thoughts, and you have to visualize and expect that the success is coming, because when you start to mimic that and walk and talk like that, you're telling the universe that you're expecting and ready for it, you know?
Absolutely. Well said. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, putting yourself in those environments, right? Dressing like how you would dress, you know, driving the cars, visualizing it, you know, and then of course giving gratitude, because a lot of times it could be hard. You know, there's depression hits, you know, things go south, family problems, you know, money problem, bill problems. But how do you escape that? Because everyone does have that. It can go through at any point in your life. How do you break free from that? Well, one, understanding and knowing that you deserve success. It's your duty to become successful because you can operate as your highest creative self. A lot of times, bro, people don't get to experience life because money just amplifies who they are, right? And even if you have bread, but you're a shitty person, the bread's not going to change that. You're still going to be a shitty person, whether you have $10 in your account or $10 million in your account. If you're broke mindset, if you're jealous, if you're stingy, money's not going to change it. It's just going to amplify it. So like you said, the money is the icing on the cake. So you have to have the gratitude, understanding that you woke up with two hands, two eyes, you got a nose, you got legs you can walk with, you got a brain, you got a heart you can feel. You're already blessed. A roof over your shoulder, food you can eat. People are, in other parts of the country are worried about survival. What am I going to eat for dinner?
Gaza. Look at Gaza right now.
There's so many countries on top of, I'm not even talking about the war-torn countries. Me and you have traveled internationally.
Yes.
You have people with a lot less. Costa Rica, Bali, that. A lot less.
But way happier.
Just happier, just present. And then on top of that, we're not having bombs dropped in our head. We don't have to worry about, survival. We're worried about, what color shirt am I going to wear? What, am I going to eat this or this,
Literally yesterday,
consumption.
We were hanging out with our friend, and he had his abaya on, and he had his Cuban chain, and his it got stuck in his chain, and he was complaining about it, and we're just like, first world problems. Guys, something you need to understand, you need to really stop complaining. Because you need to stop complaining and victimizing yourself. Nothing is happening to you, it's happening for you. And you need to start empowering yourself and change that mindset. And a lot of us aren't able to see the beautiful fruits of our current life because we're too stuck to the screen and seeing what other people have and always comparing. And we're probably victims of that too. We're always looking at, what the next guy is doing, how much more are they making?
Yeah, but what I've shifted is though I don't get jealous. It used to be like, damn, how did he make it before me? That was the question 3-4 years ago. But now it's like, damn, he made it before me. It's either going to motivate me or he deserves it,
yes.
One way or the other. And I'm like, damn, I want to go learn from him. So that's the shift. You can't have jealousy because they say comparison is a thief of joy, right? You can't compare, but you should compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Because a lot of times, the shit that you have now, you prayed for 5, 6, 7 years ago. I prayed for a high rise. I prayed for ability to, dress nice, be fit, have the most beautiful girl, have the best relationship, have a good friend circle that I can turn to, call my brothers. I prayed for that 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Same.
And now it's like, we want the billions, we want the Lamborghinis, we want the jets, great. But what we asked for back then, we prayed. Now, 5 years later down the road, what we prayed for, we're going to get because we put in the work, the authentic,
yes.
intention and the work ethic and we laid the foundation that's going to come. So I want you to do an audit and think back what you prayed for. Do you have it right now or not?
Yeah, 100%, man. And you have to be very conscious of how you feel. One thing, on my journey is that whenever I was always very conscious of my feelings, and the lowest feeling that you could ever feel, like the lowest vibration and frequency of feelings, is the feeling of lack. So feeling, I don't have this
scarcity.
Yet. The scarcity mindset. And that is probably one of the hardest to combat because it actually isn't from us. It's from our ancestors. It's from our ancestors that had to worry about survival, that had to worry about, animals coming and eat them at night or where they're going to get their next meal from, right? So it has been passed down, generation to generation throughout our family, through our DNA. So that is one of the hardest things to combat for me because, I'm the first millionaire of my family, and to combat that scarcity mindset. Secondly, the feeling of jealousy and envy. So once you start realizing that, you start seeing people around you win, or you start seeing people online, and if you're feeling a sense of joy or motivation or happiness from that, you're on the right track. If you are feeling a sense of envy and hate towards it, you need to question yourself and look deep inside and understand why, right? And then the other one is hate. That those are the lowest frequencies, and everything is vibration. I'm sure some of the viewers know that, some may not, but your thoughts become things. So if you could constantly monitor yourself through meditation, through self-reflection, to always understand that, is this thought working for me or working against me? And start to curate your thoughts and what goes through your mind, and be able to catch yourself, because we're all victims to our own thoughts. But the biggest thing is being able to catch yourself when you're going into that negativity and pull yourself out. And guys, I promise you, practice gratitude. Gratitude is the highest on the scale. Gratitude and love of frequency and vibration. Once you practice gratitude and love, you will start to see things start to happen to you and start to attract into your life.
So if the viewers that haven't for the viewers that haven't read the book, Map of Consciousness by David Hawkins, is a chart. He shows the consciousness chart. And like you said, it calibrates between 1 and 1,000, right? And 0 to 200 are exactly that: hate, resentment, fear, lack, all those kind of, jealousy. Those are all under 200. They calibrate on the vibration level below 200. And then after 200 to 400, it's like courage. It's like a breakthrough, courage, discipline. And then it gets to 400, it gets to love. And then like boundless love, unconditional love, and then you hit enlightenment. So the goal is to get do things to increase your vibration. Hang around with positive people, hang around, read and listen to the right information. Even the music you listen to lowers your vibration. The food you eat lowers your vibration. It's part of the reason I'm leaving the West, because we're indoctrinated to make norms of shit that's not supposed to be normal. Drinking, not supposed to be normal for your body. Shitty food, eating fast food. Why is fast food cheaper than real food? Why, when you eat real food, they say you're going on a diet? What does that mean? The shitty food is the one that's made normal. Alcohol, drugs and alcohol, and chasing these dopamine hits. It's become a norm. You go to a date, drinking. You go to a party, drinking. You celebrate something, baby shower. Why are we drinking at a baby shower? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is becoming a norm. And so you have to break through what's normal. And a lot of times, like you said, Kane, it's very hard. Especially, I'll give you an example. You have a scarcity mindset. You're like, damn, I got bills, right? And so you're thinking about the bills. And why are you thinking about the bills? Because you don't got the money to pay the bills. And now you're thinking about not having the money, which leads to not being able to pay the bills. So you can literally easily, snowball effect out of control. That's why you gotta stop it. Count your blessings. All right, bills is just a number. Money is just energy. A bills is literally just a number written on a piece of paper. It could be meaningless. It could just as well be you have $200 check coming in. It's the same piece of paper. One just says you owe money. One says you made money. It's the same piece of paper with the same number. So it's about shifting. And at that point, it's about evaluating. What do you really have that makes you wealthy? Do you have your body? Do you have family that cares about you? Okay, even in the tough situation, you can get through it.
100%. No, 100%, man. I totally agree with you. And on the way here, it is the hardest in the beginning. But once you start to see the fruition of your thoughts becoming things and understanding how that impacts you and starting to manifest and attract good things into your life, it's almost easy to make that shift because you start to see that this is actually the right way to do things, And another thing, that I want to mention is that it's very easy to victimize yourself on this journey. I victimized myself. I said, I didn't have a dad in my life. My mom has to work. She's a nurse. She has to raise 3 kids. And I had all the odds against me when it comes to statistics, right? And, when you just rise above it and realize that it's all, programming that we've been programmed since day one and breaking through that, like you said. And the number one thing that, I would accredit is self-development, self-assessment, and consciousness. Once you have those 3 things and you stay consistent and persistent with action towards your goals, something is bound to happen. It's like riding a bike. The first couple of times you fall down and get back up. But it's about the getting back up. And guys, if you're at a place right now where you feel like giving up, just know that 99% of people give up where you're at right now. And you have to find the courage deep in. And that's why I say spirituality, higher sense of power, higher sense of belief and visualization, because it is so hard to see something that's not there in the beginning. But once you learn and understand that us as every single human have that as a superpower, you will be able to unlock the world.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the same thing. Like you can't see, oxygen. You can't see gravity, but it's there. The law of the universe always applies. So there is a higher power. You just got to tap in and find it, keep breaking through. And finding them. But one of the biggest things is, even if you're being shaped by your environment, you got to stop that. You got to be the one that shapes your environment, not letting your environment shape you. And these things, they can really, make or break you. If you have constantly negative people around you, if you have constantly, people that are talking about drugs and partying and this and that and other people, you're going to become that. It's the law of averages. It's very, very true. So you have to be able to hold yourself accountable. Accountability makes a man. You have to do a self audit and be like, is this really what I want? Is this the life that I want to pass on to my kids? And if it's not, you got to make some changes. You also got to evaluate to see if you're doing the best of your ability. Are you actually going through and pushing through the 10th rep, or are you starting at 7? are you stopping at 7? Because no one's going to tell you you're a bad person, but did you honestly, go through and follow through on what you said you were going to do? Same thing. You said you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. Are you doing that? Are you broke right now? And then are you sleeping till 10 or 11? Well, there's things that got to change,
100%. I think a lot of the biggest downfall of our society where we're from, that I see a difference here, is the quality of men. And how, if, men created the society that we're in, women are the deciders of what's okay, but men created the society that we're in, and our society has fallen because of weak men, right? So I think all of our problems could be solved if we raised better men, right? If we had less weak men that were killing people because of their emotions and they were told that, oh, it's okay to act out how you feel, we would have less rapes, less murders, right? That's a weak man. If we had more stoicism in our society, we would have more respectable and more men that you could look up to, right? And then also, if we had more men that had self-control and discipline and believed in a God or believed in God, right, or some sort of spirituality, we would have men that want to have a family. We would have men that, want to be an example for people to look up to. But nowadays in our society, it's filled with weak men, and it's from everything from our food to the information that we consume, to the entertainment that we consume. It is all made to demasculinize men. So what we're trying to do with our academy and just even our personal brands is try to show people how to be a better version of themselves, but most specifically men, because men are the dictators of the house, the dictators of the family, the dictators of our society. So we need to make men better so women could be women and men could be men. And I think that's where we've fallen apart. And here in Dubai, it's different because men are men here and women are women, literally. Not like no LGBTQ, I feel like a woman today. Men are men here. You see men opening the doors for women. Women are so protected here. Women can walk out at night, will never have to worry about being touched. It's very safe. And versus our society, a woman can't even walk out at night. A woman has to be a man. A woman has to go work full time, not because she wants to, because she has no choice to, because men aren't good enough nowadays. Her boyfriend she's making more money than her boyfriend, right?
Well, the thing is what we're accepting it's okay to, be low testosterone and play video games. Not saying video games are bad, but have our priorities out of whack. So people are, consuming too much, and they're over here being, not honest with themselves and addicted to pornography and stuff like that because there's no self-control. So how do we battle that? How do we use Principles Academy to battle that at a global level?
I think, mass adoption throughout our academy and our users and our students, and then also having a non-negotiable onboarding process, which makes each individual that joins assess themselves as a person, as a soul, and as a person in the market, right? So there's three versions of us. There's the one to our family, there's the one to our girlfriends or boyfriends, there's the one that we show to society, and then there's one that we show in workplace. And we need to elevate those three selves and make people understand that there's different versions of you in different faces. We all have different faces, but it's all about digging deep and understanding who you truly are, and then understanding and teaching people how to create a roadmap to then improve yourself, because people often underestimate, the power of personality, the power of consistency and taking consistent action. Like if you're not where you want to be right now financially or in life, it's because you're not a person that deserves it. So who do you need to do something and be someone you never have been, or do things you have never have done to have things you have never had. So who do you need to level up? What do you need to change about yourself? What do you need to evolve to be able to become the person that has financial freedom, or to become the person that has a great family and a wife that respects them, right? It's all about the self-assessment and understanding the roadmap and how to create an actual roadmap, and to raise our consciousness level to be able to understand that we control our thoughts, not our thoughts control us.
Since I was a kid, man, my biggest goal is to surround myself with well-rounded men. And I think Principles Academy does that. Men and women, of course. But Principles Academy sets the standard for how you should act, how you should operate, how you should think, how you should execute, and the standard of life that you set for yourself. And if we can create, let's just say, start with me and you, then we create 100 men like this, the ripple effect will far exceed our reach that me and you could have impacted just by ourselves. We just take a few men that use that same philosophy for their children, and now you have families operating by the three pillars, the three principles, right? And now the ripple effect and the reach will be so far that 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, it's going to snowball effect to thousands, millions of people, hundreds of thousands and millions of people, just because we set the standard so high from the beginning.
Nah, man, I look forward to shaping the future with you, and shaping the future with you and all of our businesses together that we have built. Because like one thing that really intrigued me about you is that whenever there's a problem, you don't just solve it, you create something new to solve that old problem, right?
Absolutely.
And you're always in a state of creating, and that's what that's why you're the yin to my yang. And I really look forward to taking over the globe with you and really impacting millions of people with you, brother.
Absolutely, brother. Principles Academy is just a start. I mean, think about how many the podcast, right? Think about the brands that we'll create, the subsidiaries that we'll create. So biggest thing with us, that's why we're in alignment. There's impact, there's income, and there's just bettering best versions of ourselves so that we can teach other people to do the same, inspire them to do the same.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely.
Let's wrap up the podcast, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.